Hello, and happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another installment of the Convo. You all know me. I'm Ebony Chappelle, Director of Program and Communications for Leadership Indianapolis. And our series, The Convo, provides an opportunity for us to learn more about community leaders, organizations, issues, and opportunities in our city. So, very happy to be back again this month to talk with Kelly Altman of the Oaks Academy. For those of you that are tuning in, if you have questions or comments for Kelly or I, go ahead and drop them in the comment box. And I will get to them. If you just want to, give her a shout out because she's so awesome, that's good too. But today we're going to be talking about her work at the Oaks, some of the socioeconomic and racial issues in the education landscape, and learn about leadership lessons that have inspired her in her work. So before I introduce Kelly, I want to tell you guys a little bit about her. Kelly Altman is the founding head of school at the Oaks Academy Brookside. She has worked at the Oaks since 2008 when she began as a fifth grade teacher. In 2014, she was named an IBJ Woman of Influence, a Woodrow Wilson Fellow in Educational Leadership, and is devoted to establishing a community that embodies the school's mission. So without further ado, I will welcome to the conversation Kelly Reese Altman of the Oaks. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hello, how are you? It's
I
good to be here.
Yes, it is. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You mentioned earlier that you are having a fantastic Monday, um, which I think is amazing and could help inspire a lot of us. So tell us a little bit about why your Monday is so fantastic.
Well, my Monday is so fantastic because I'm alive. I'm able to do what I love. I'm inspired by beautiful weather that isn't scorching, and I've had a great weekend with family and friends. So that makes for a great Monday.
Yeah, that certainly helps, especially that weather part, because my goodness, it has been so incredibly hot. So it's good to have a little reprieve from that for a
hmm
minute. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit. I said your bio earlier, but
Yeah,
tell us a little bit more about what you do at the Oaks and what your day-to-day sort of looks like there.
sure. I serve as head of school at the Oaks Academy Brookside campus. The Oaks Academy was established in 1998. There are three campuses that are located in blighted communities. So the original campus is at 23rd and Park Avenue. Then my campus is at 18th in Rural. And then there is our middle school campus, which actually sits between the two lower schools. Our campuses are pre K to 8, it's a full program. The two lower schools are K to 5, and then we have the middle school at the Martindale Brightwood campus, as well as the pre K center at the Martindale Brightwood campus. Day to day, I believe that I work to build community and ensure that the core values of the school are being lived out and experienced by all of our constituents. So I have an expectation that teachers are living out the core values and the mission of the school, and that's the experience that the parents are receiving and the students are receiving. So actually, I came to the Oaks Academy as a parent in 2005. I applied for my daughter to be enrolled. I absolutely fell in love with the program and the mission of the school. And lo and behold, they had no room for my daughter. So we were waitlisted. And then in probably 3 or 4 years later, when I decided to go back to teaching, because I fell in love with the Oaks Academy then, I wanted to make sure that to see if I could fall in love professionally with the school. So I applied for my daughter to be enrolled at the Oaks Academy,
You. It looked like we lost you for a second, Kelly. So I hope that you can jump back in. Um, but for those of you that are watching, if you have any questions or comments for Kelly, feel free to leave it in the chat. Definitely want to be able to answer any questions that you have about the work that she is doing, the great work that she is doing at the Oaks Academy. While we wait to see if Kelly's um, uh, connection becomes stronger again. I want to let you guys know about some events that we have going on at Leadership Indianapolis. We have Opportunity Indianapolis, which is happening August 18th and the 19th of this year. It's the first time that it is coming back in person in 2 years since the pandemic has changed a lot of how we work. So you guys can find out more information about that at leadershipindianapolis.com. Click on upcoming events and you'll be able to find out information about it there. We also have another program happening later this fall, and that's Lead. So you can find out more information about that on our website as well. I also want to take this opportunity to give a huge, huge thank you to AES for their generous partnership of Get On Board 2022. So, for those of you that aren't familiar, Get On Board is a series. Well, it started as an in person event. Over the past 2 years with the pandemic, it has transitioned to be a workshop series that takes place where we have a series of about 3 workshops focused on civic engagement and board recruitment, how to join a board if you are a leader of a board, how to retain some of your volunteer talent in the organization. So we had a series of workshops that went extremely well, followed by our very first in person event at Newfields on June 28th. That was extremely well attended. And we have Kelly back. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, I am so sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. This is technology. These things happen sometimes, but it's happy to have you back.
Good.
Great, great. So when we left off, you were talking about the fact that you first got connected to the Oaks through a parent trying to enroll your student, and got waitlisted because it's so popular and so many people want to send their children there. And when you went back to teach, you went to find out if you could fall in love professionally
Yes.
with the school there. So it seems like that was the case.
When I was,
Okay, there we go.
yeah,
Yes, yes. So it seems like it was the case that you were able to fall in love professionally.
I was. And when I was asked to launch the Brookside campus, because I had been waitlisted, I wanted to make certain that I said yes to giving other students and families an opportunity to have that experience. And
Mhm.
so we launched that campus in 2012 with 85 students. Since then, we've grown and our enrollment is right at 300 students.
Yeah, that is amazing. Amazing growth in that time period. I know that the education field, along with so many others, experienced some changes during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, having opportunities where you're able to um, look at the way that things are done and find out, is this the best way to do things? Is this the most equitable way? Like, how are we really living into our purpose? So, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the things that you all learned during that time and what practices or standards did you take out of that experience that inform how the school operates now?
hmm So I think some of the most valuable lessons is that for everything that we had done historically, we had to reevaluate all of those things and make a determination. Is this effective during a lockdown? Is this effective when part of our school is in person and part of our school is online? And so just getting an opportunity to run our ideas by our brain was very, very helpful as a leadership team. And then thinking forward, we want to make sure that we are positioning the school not just to come out and go back to normal, but to come out and respond to a new normal. And so there are many things that we have kept in place because we recognize moving forward into the future, not just next school year, but in 10 years, it's important that we have things in place so that students have access to an Oaks education. So part of that is historically we hadn't been one-to-one. We had a computer lab where students had an experience going into a computer lab. Now we're one-to-one. We make certain that whenever a student is out for more than 2 or 3 days, they have access to the online curriculum with all of the lessons so they can continue with their education. And I think as I think through this coming school year, it's so important to reestablish community, to
Mhm.
reestablish relationships, because really and truly anything that we do well, we do it in the context of relationships. So we went through 2 years in which families knew me as a school leader and teachers from a distance or with a mask or barrier. We've just gotten to a point where the doors are open, all are welcome, there's no mask. Being intentional about extending oneself to ensure that the person is having an experience that builds trust. Trust is so very important as a school leader, as just individuals as we navigate life, generally speaking, and especially when we live in a society where there is so much discord, there's so much division, there's so much polarization. Can we really and truly center in on what unites us and build trust and relationship and community around those things? And so at the
Mhm.
Oaks Academy, we are united on the person of Jesus Christ, and we all want what's best for the students. And therefore, we're all working to that end.
Yeah, yeah. What role, when I think about, the larger picture of what it means to have a healthy community, a healthy society where people are engaged civically and they're participating and making things, the very best that they possibly could be, what role do you feel like the education landscape plays in that?
Oh, wow. It plays such a significant role. We have an opportunity to demonstrate before students how it is that we live in community, how it is that we should value one another, honor one another, respect each other. So that is foundational to all schools, and has been for decades, for centuries. This is school as a community in which we all grow up. I walked to school. I went to school 41 in IPS, and I had such a strong sense of every teacher in that building was an advocate and an ally for me, and that it mattered. What I grew up and became mattered, not just to my family, immediate family, but to those within our community. And so, if we are, as educators, are able to convey to children what we believe that they are capable of and call them to their highest good, and that they have a sense that I'm accountable not only to, my parents, not only to my friends, but I'm accountable to society at large, and God is calling me to something bigger. I do believe that we can, as the city of Indianapolis, as a community, that we in truly can be renewed, and we can bring greater unity, and there can be greater good that is experienced by all. Because really and truly, I am not going to solve the world's problems. The world's problems will be solved with the children that we are educating right now. And so, how do we set them up for success? And
Mhm.
the education landscape is the most important venue besides the church, and besides the family, to ensure that we are setting our children up for success. So, there's no
Mhm.
greater call than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you think about the things that you have experienced through not only this immediate role that you're in right now with the Oaks Academy, but just kind of looking at your own leadership journey as a whole, what are the lessons that have helped guide you and mold how you are as a leader?
I would say one lesson that is really shaped and defined my leadership, I hope and pray, is the importance of trust. That a leader has to be a trusted person, and you earn trust by number one, showing up and being available, being present. You earn trust by those who you care for by caring about what they care about. Um, you earn trust by being competent. And so once you've established trust, those in your community can hear very difficult things if necessary. But there's no more important, I would say, point of equity that we earn as leaders than trust, because over time you draw down on that trust equity, if you will. A leader can never run a deficit, and therefore, as it relates to trust equity, you have to build it up, build it up, build it up, day in and day out, when no one is watching, because when things go awry and you have to draw down on that, uh, you can't go into a negative. That's one thing. And then also, and maybe this is just my personality, I think there's value in framing things to the positive instead of looking at people in their deficits, but to look at people in the assets that they bring and to speak to those assets, those things that they're capable of, their strengths, to really kind of balance out growth opportunities, if you will. So
Hmm.
I never want anyone to think that there is something wrong, that there is something negative that is a reflection on them just because circumstances are challenging. I want to speak to what they're capable of. Again, their highest call. And so when you view people in their highest call, you approach them and engage them in a different way. Your arms are open. You're hopeful. You're a champion. But if you view people in a deficit mindset, um, 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 and I don't even want to say what would qualify as a deficit mindset because I think, no. But if you view them
Yeah.
in a deficit mindset, sometimes people walk that out and live that out. And
Hmm.
it may bring in a touch of bias that you may not even be aware of that could cause you to dismiss the dreams and hopes for that person. And so,
Hmm.
as long as we view people rightly, the way I want to be viewed, the way God views me, um, I think that is a powerful leadership lesson and really
Yeah.
informs how you lead, how you care, how you love. And leaders have to love, and they cannot lead out of ambition or conceit. They have to lead to serve another.
Yeah, yeah. What an excellent way to wrap up our conversation today. I think that those are some great lessons that could be applied in so many different avenues to help civic leaders see people at their highest call,
Mm.
to use your words. How can people find out more about the Oaks Academy?
Okay, they can go to theoaksacademy.org. That's our website. It tells you everything about our school. You can go to our blog. You can read details about experience from the Oaks, about highlights of the school year. We are on Instagram. I do believe we're on Facebook, Twitter, all of those good things. But we are doing excellent work in the city. We serve all constituents well. And there's a lot of good there. And so please go to theoaksacademy.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Kelly, for such a great conversation. It was great talking with you, and best of luck with the rest of your summer and a great fall.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. God bless you.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this installment of the Convo. You can learn more about Leadership Indianapolis by going to leadershipindianapolis.com. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday.